you'll just be fed up, and you'll ultimately give up on the idea of change. You'll walk away. You'll leave them in power. You'll decide things can't change. In other words, their bet is on cynicism.
This shit's bad.
But Ohio, my bet's on you. My bet's on you. My bet's on the common sense and decency of the American people. And by the way, this is not a partisan idea. When the other party's been willing to work with me to advance the cause of middle class and working class families, I've been right there with them. We worked with Republicans and Democrats to cut middle class taxes, to cut taxes for small businesses. We came together to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. We had some courageous Republican senators get involved. I will work with anybody of any party to move this country forward. And if you want to break the gridlock in Congress, you'll vote for leaders, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, Independents, who feel the same way, who put you first, who don't put politics or the next election first. But if we want meaningful change that actually helps families, then we also have some principles. There have to be some things that we're willing to fight for. If the price of peace in Washington is cutting deals that kick students off of financial aid, or get rid of funding for Planned Parenthood, or let insurance companies discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions, or eliminate health care for millions on Medicaid who are poor or elderly or disabled, then that's a price I'm not willing to pay. That's not bipartisanship. That's not change. That's surrender to the same status quo that has hurt too many families for too long, and I am not ready to give up on the fight just yet. I am not ready to give up on that fight. And I hope you aren't either, Ohio. I hope you aren't either. See, the folks at the very top in this country, they don't need another champion in Washington. They'll always have a seat at the table. They'll always have access and influence. The people who need a champion are the Americans whose letters I read late at night when I get up from the Oval Office. The men and women I meet on the campaign trail every day. The laid-off worker who has to go back at the age of 55 to retrain at a community college. She needs a champion. The restaurant owner who has some really good food but not a lot of money and needs a loan to expand after the bank turned him down. He needs a champion. The cooks and the waiters and the cleaning staff working overtime at a Cincinnati hotel trying to save enough to buy a first home or send their kid to college. They need a champion. The auto worker back on a job feeling proud because he's building a great car. He needs a champion. That teacher in a classroom, overcrowded classroom, digging into her own pocket to buy school supplies, not getting the support she needs, but knowing maybe this day that one child will learn something and that makes it all worthwhile. She needs a champion. All those kids in inner cities and small farm towns, in the valleys of Ohio, the rolling Virginia hills, kids dreaming of becoming scientists or doctors or engineers or entrepreneurs, businessmen, diplomats, maybe even a president. They need a champion in Washington. They don't have a lobbyist. The future doesn't have the same kind of lobbyists as the status quo, but it's the dreams of those children that will be our saving grace. And that's why I need you, Ohio, to make sure their voices are heard, to make sure your voices are heard. We've come too far to turn back now. We've come too far to let our hearts grow faint. We've got to keep pushing forward to educate all our kids and train all our workers, to create new jobs, to bring our troops home, to care for our veterans, to broaden opportunity, to grow a middle class, to restore our democracy, to make sure that no matter where you come from, or how you started out, or what you look like, you can make it in America.
That's right.
You can make
That's
it if
right.
you try. In Ohio, that's why I'm asking you for your vote.
You got mine.
And if you're willing to work with me and knock on some doors with me, you want to early vote for me, make some phone calls for me, turn out for me, we'll win Ohio. We'll win this election. We'll renew the bonds and reaffirm the spirit that makes the United States of America the greatest nation on earth. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Thank you for joining us. We'll have a complete wrap-up of the day's events coming up at 10 right here on Local 12.2, the CW Cincinnati, and at 11 on Local 12 News. Good night.